Oh, there it is. Oh, it's spitting everywhere. No one likes a spitter. Right, coffee's done. Welcome everybody, Russ McDonough, aka The Nomadic Veteran, and welcome to this week's video. So a little while ago, we did a video which was basically the 5 most essential bits of kit you can have on van life, or at least in our opinion. And number 1 on that list was a Moka pot. Awesome bit of kit, and basically we had a few people leave a comment saying, Russ, I've got one of these pots, I don't know how to use it. Why don't you do an instructional video? Now, lockdown's dragging on, I'm running out of ideas for videos. I thought, boom, let's do an instructional video on a Moka pot. So today, I'm going to, 1, hopefully teach you how to use the Moka pot and produce some damn good coffee, and 2, also a couple of ways you can kind of spice it up a little bit or make it a bit more interesting for yourself. And hopefully, by the end of the video, you'll be like, Russ, it's awesome. Great bit of kit. Anyway, let's get into it. Good. Let's basically get into this. You'll notice there I've got the kettle on, and I'll show you why the kettle is on, even though you're making coffee using the Moka pot. But first things first, obviously you need coffee, and it just so happens I've got some of Greenbrae Coffee Company's finest Commando blend here. I've heard the guy which owns that company is a mega bloke, so you should maybe check him out. Right, so with this, what we're doing in this Moka pot, right, is we're making an espresso style coffee. It's not a true espresso, but it is an espresso style. So a lot of people will tell you that you probably should be using like a dark roast to make it like the Italian shots and such. Obviously, if that's your thing, a dark roast, awesome, go for it. For me, I like a medium roast, so I'll always, 9 times out of 10, I'll stick to a nice medium roast. That's the kettle going. Again, you know, this is whole bean, so I take the time to grind it up. If you can buy the coffee, you know, fine, which is what I would recommend, the fine grind for an Moka pot. If you're using a French press, use coarse, but for a Moka pot, use fine. If you want to buy it like that, awesome. The reason I buy it whole bean, or I have it whole bean, should I say, is purely because, 1, I like the process of kind of going through the whole thing of grinding the coffee myself. It holds its smell, it's that much better, and also it holds its freshness. The coffee stays fresher for longer, which ultimately leads to the taste being even better as well. However, word of warning, it's a bit of a ball ache at times to grind it. It can take about 90 seconds, so bear with me. Alright, that'll do, good. Right, so that's me now with a bit of a dab on after grinding that up. I should have always said as well, always keep your coffee tight. Right, so we've ground the coffee. Next on to the Moka pot. So with the Moka pot, you basically unscrew it from the bottom there, and then you have 3 compartments. The bottom one, this is known as the boiler. The middle bit looks like that. That's where you basically put the coffee in. There's a little basket for you, and then this bit up here is known as the kettle. That's where the good stuff comes pouring out of, ready for you to drink. So you noticed that I was boiling the kettle. Basically, we picked up little tips and tricks along the way. So the way we first started using Moka a few years ago is it's kind of evolved to little things which, 1, affect the taste, and we prefer it the way we do it like this. So a little tip for you is a lot of people use cold water or bottled water. What we found after learning it was use boiling water. And I guess the reason for that is because, concentration first, is because, oh, I've spilt it as well, shocker. Is because it'll push the hot water will get pushed through the basket, through the coffee quicker, so it's not, the actual Moka pot isn't on the burners for long, which I think if you keep it on there for too long, it'll become a bit more bitter, and obviously you don't want a turbo bitter coffee. Another point on the little boiler there, you'll see the safety valve. When you're filling the water up, keep the water level just underneath the safety valve, and that way you won't have any dramas. Put the basket back in. All that 90 seconds of hard work gets poured into the basket here. There we go. Oh, beautiful. So, here's another little tip which we learnt along the years, was basically, you would have seen when you're in Costa or Starbucks and they're doing their coffees on the proper espresso machines, they're like, tamper it down, they force that coffee down. That's obviously works for their espresso machines. For this, what you want to do is pour the coffee in and just kind of let it be. Yeah, you can knead it up and that and spread it around, make sure it's a nice even finish, but don't push it down trying to get more coffee in there. It'll just ruin the taste, okay? And then finally, careful with your hands, because obviously that is red as now. In fact, health and safety 101. Put the kettle bit back on if you can, no pressure. There we go. And you want a nice, good, tight finish on that, so it doesn't kind of, no hot water comes bursting out of the seams as such. And then all we do then, gas on, happy days. Another little tip for you, this is through trial and error again. If you have it on like a gas burner, make sure the gas doesn't come up the sides. Basically, we've burned the rubber quite a few times when we were doing it, so it makes a bit of a mess. And it's, yeah. So all we've got to do now is literally wait for the water in the bottom in the boiler to push through the coffee, and then it'll come out up there, making awesome coffee. Couple of minutes. Okay, so what you'll hear it all kind of starting to, oh, there it is. Oh, it's spitting everywhere. No one likes a spitter. Right, coffee's done. Excuse my footing. Hooch has decided to get right in there. Good lad. Oh, making a mess of it. Right, here we go. It's all I'm going to use for now, because we want to save Gibbo a shot as well, don't we? And that, people, is an espresso style shot. When's it good for? First thing in the morning, you're rushing out the door, get it down here, pre-workout, quick shot of caffeine, and some people just enjoy drinking espresso. I'm going to now show you a second way to enjoy this glorious drink. I'm going to make an Americano, and simply the way to do that is with your espresso style shot, add a little bit of hot water, and that makes an Americano. Now I know what you're thinking, you're probably thinking, why is it called an Americano? Here's a bit of a knowledge bomb dropped. During the Second World War, yes, you like this knowledge as well, don't you? During the Second World War, when the Yanks, or the Americans, were over in Italy, they found that obviously the Italians, they love their espresso shots, but the Americans were like, this is too strong, I don't like it. So what they did was, they added boiling water, turns into an Americano. As simple as that. It's good, isn't it? I prefer my drinks like this. I don't add any sort of like, any types of milk or anything like that. I like a black coffee, and this is awesome. However, that being said, on a cheeky evening, and I feel like I deserve a little treat, I make something, I add a little bit more to it. This is number 3 coming up. Yes, I know. In my opinion, awesome little treat is a coconut Irish coffee, okay? So, what I do to make this little taste of heaven is, first of all, add a bit of I was going to say brown sugar. We've been using coconut sugar lately. Apparently, it's a bit more healthy for you. Sugar's sugar, but you know what? Needs must. Add as little or as much as you want, depending on how much you like having sugary. Like, I've got a real sweet tooth, so I like to get it kind of in there. So I've got a good couple of, it's like between a teaspoon and a tablespoon, I don't know what you call that, but basically I've got a couple of those in there. Whiskey, again, I'm not a huge whiskey drinker, so I picked this up. It's not the cheapest, but it's by no means the most expensive, but it's quite nice. Again, add as little or as much as you want. You know me, Mark one eyeball, we'll just chuck it in there. Yeah, that'll be alright. And then finally, we add some coconut milk, which has been left in the old fridge overnight. When you leave it in the fridge overnight, it goes all sort of like solid on the top, so it's nice. Now, I'll put this in. It's going to look like a disaster when I first put this in, because basically the coconut milk will sink, and you give it a couple of minutes, it'll rise to the top, and it'll look mega. You'll impress everyone. He says, let's go. I'm not going to put too much in. Oh, in fact, before that, right, I've made a clanger there. I forgot to stir it. The pressure of being on camera has made me forget. So, give that little stirsies. Get that whiskey, coffee, and sugar all mixed up. There we go. How can I forget to do that? Shocking. There we go, that'll do. And then let's add coconut milk. If it goes off the finger, excuse fingers. Now all we've got to do is wait and pray that this works out really well. So, you know what, it's turned out alright actually. I'm quite happy with that. But again, it's not the way it looks, it's the way it tastes. So what I'll do, just to finish this off, a little bit more sugar on top. There you have it, a coconut Irish coffee. Right, so that is it for today's video. Just a quick one. If you hadn't have figured it out, Green Beret Coffee Company is my company. So if you do want to check me out, I'll put a link below and you can come have a look at the coffee we do. It's good shit. Obviously I'll say that. But as far as today goes, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd be ever so kind, please give it a thumbs up, a Fonzie. Hey, what else? If you haven't subscribed to us, please subscribe and I will try and do even better videos in the future. If you want to leave a comment, and those comments can be like whether you found this useful, what are the ways you make your coffee, any tips, other ways you might make a different Irish whiskey, just, you know what? Shout it out, let me know, and I will give them a whirl, and then, what else? I think that's about it. Share the video if you want. Anyway, until next time, stay safe, and lead us.